Excuse me. How can
Yep.
I see your screen? Because I can't see the screen. Shall I go somewhere else and get it?
Uh,
Because I can see the screen.
is everyone else able to see the screen?
Yeah, no issues.
No issues.
Let me check it out. Okay, let me. Okay. This is my first time doing this in.
No
I
problem.
guess. The- Um, where do I go to check the screen? Like I have here share screen, but I'm not want to share my screen because I don't have anything in my screen. So
All right. You see everybody's pictures?
okay,
There should be one there that says Ninja Code Solutions, and it's got the little live badge.
it's green, right?
No,
Ninja
that's
Code Solution.
well,
Oh, let me see. Let me check it out. Okay. I apologize for that, guys. I'm so retarded in these things. Meeting room. Okay.
it's the one that says stream.
Okay. So Ninja Code Solution I have here, right? And I click there, and I see the green screen right here.
And not the green one. There's another one.
Yeah, I saw Tobias what you said. Let me see again. I got it now. I guess you go live. I guess. Uh,
Mm,
okay. It say go live, right?
no. Uh,
Uh,
let's see.
I don't know. Still giving me the green thing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm so sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Okay. I did, but um, okay. Let me go there again. My goodness. Okay.
Should be your top left one.
Top left.
Nope.
Okay, go ahead, guys. Checking it. I'm gonna just listen for now. I can find it. I don't want to stop you guys. It's okay.
Uh,
It's okay.
okay. I just sent a screenshot in the chat as well, if that helps.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. And if not, we can connect afterwards and go over
Oh, yeah.
anything.
It's fine. I apologize for that. Thank you, guys.
And no worries. Um, okay, so as I said, if uh, when the indicator predicts a choppy market and it's incorrect, the market moves up and the box grows over 1%, we paint the box red and call it a loss. Um, in our next example here, we see it started off going up and then came back down. That's probably not the best trade to call a win, but it also uh, wasn't. It didn't stop out on us. Um, so here's an excellent example. The market goes back and forth. Remember, this is a 20 range bar, and my level ticks is set at 20. So as the market's going back and forth here, we're more than likely hitting quite a few profit targets. It makes a move up, which we draw down when that happens, but then it comes back down and returns to the middle of the box, and that's why the box closes out, and we call it a profit. And so what I've done is over the last, this chart is showing 30 days of data, and it's drawing lots and lots of boxes. I don't know if you can see when they're that tiny. Um, but with what I just said, calling the green boxes winners and the red boxes losers, over the last 30 days, this has been correct 91.63% of the time. So what I've done is I connected this through the Gridmaster API so that when the indicator predicts a choppy market, it will enable Gridmaster and it will run to hopefully a $500 profit target um, or up to a $5,000 loss. I do have it trailing as well. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get some action when the market opens up here. Um, yes, for this one I'm using the trailing targets, not the trailing entries. Uh, the way the trailing targets work, they take a little longer to kick in. Because with the trailing entries, if the market moves, when you turn the grid on, if the market moves up one level, the grid will move with it. Uh, but with the trailing targets, the market has to fill all of your levels, all 5 of your entries, and continue moving before the grid starts moving. And so it's difficult to say which one is more advantageous in different scenarios. Uh, from the testing I've done, it seems like using the trailing targets uh, tends to have a little bit lower drawdown, but it doesn't make money quite as quick. I think in the initial period when you turn it on, when the grids are overlapping, it seems to make more money. Probably just because it's doing two trades at every level when that happens. Um, and so I'll show you guys. I don't think I need that. So this is a test I did in replay mode over the weekend. It's going to go pretty quick, but you'll get to see the indicator and Gridmaster in action, playback mode. Um, so I have it sped up quite a bit. It's going to run through 2 days of playback data here. And again, it's fully automated using this indicator and the Gridmaster API. Uh, this is yeah, it hits those $500 profit targets really fast in most cases. Um, it's not without drawdown, of course, but it does. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, yeah. So there it went up to almost 1,200, but still not too bad. $1,200 drawdown, and so in 2 days it made 8,600 in profit, and I think the largest drawdown I saw in there was the 1200. And when we pull up the trade performance here,
So did you let it run by itself without supervision?
I wouldn't let it run without supervision. I would be too scared to do that. Plus, yeah, just the adrenaline from trading. I love being there
Okay.
in control. Um,
Finally, I got this going. I can see the screen now. Anyway, so okay.
yeah, and I can send you that video separately as well.
Yes,
And
please. It would be great.
so yeah, I mean here the Ninja Traders reporting. Where is it? I don't see the drawdown. Max drawdown at 250, which that's trade close to trade close. We know we saw the one trade with a $1,200 drawdown. Uh, but again, it looks very promising uh, from my initial testing with this indicator. So I'm excited. I'm hoping that I can get this out to you guys this week. Uh, all right. So it looks like the market's opening here. Hopefully it picks up. So now that I showed you guys that, we got that running here. Are there any specific questions? Anything that, yes. Hmm. Uh, this indicator does not. I can work on an indicator to do that. Um, I find that Gridmaster typically makes the most money when you're trading both sides through a choppy market. So that's what I focused on for now. Yeah, but it would actually be possible to make money in a down market with the long setting, as long as the market wasn't straight down. If it chops around enough on the way down, the long settings could make money, though probably not likely.
I
Um,
have a question.
yep.
So, what is the uh, right drawdown or loss that we should set for a choppy market? That is what is the correct amount that we, let's say, 3,000, 4,000, or 1,500? Like, you know what I'm asking? Like, shut off?
Yeah. So let's see. Really, what you want to look at um, when you're setting up your grid. Uh, first thing is how long. What's your goal? Are you going to be? Are you trying to make a couple $100 and turn it off for the day? Do you want it trading all day long? Are you hoping to make 5,000 today? What kind of objective do you have? And so let's say that it's a modest objective. We want to make $500 and trade for hopefully less than 2 hours. Um, so given the time of the day, that's a big factor, because if you're looking at extended trading hours versus regular trading hours, the market moves a lot different. So let's come back. Go to Friday around this time. We saw a range from, let's say, about 53 points. So I'm not going to go back and check all of them. We'll say it averages moving around 60 points in that time. I think that's a fairly reasonable estimate. So when you're setting up your grid, you're going to want to make sure that I don't like to span the full 60 points, and I can try to get into that a little later. But I like my grid to span about half of that range. So with the buy and sell grid, there's actually 10 levels. Um, so half of the range is 30 points divided by 10 levels, would be about 3 points a level, or 30 ticks. So I'm that's assuming 10 levels uh, with that math. If you're trading, 3 levels, then you're only going to have 3 above, 3 below, which is 6 total. So you can adjust the math accordingly with the level ticks. Um, Obviously, though, if your level ticks gets too high, if you're looking at 90, 100 ticks on the S&P, it's probably not worth turning on. If you have to increase your level ticks that high, it's more than likely your max entries is too low. Um, but you want to get to a point where your grid spans a decent portion of that range. Um, so if your grid is too wide, you're not going to see any activity. If it's too narrow, you're going to get stopped out. You're going to take losses. And so that's why it's important to make sure that you cover that range. Once you've done that and you've picked your settings, this risk to max value gives you an idea of the amount of risk you're taking. So basically, what this is telling me is if I turn the grid on and it doesn't take a single profit target, it immediately starts moving in one direction, fills all 5 of my entries, let's say long, and then proceeds one additional level against me, I will have $5,625 in unrealized losses at that point. So
Okay.
just turning this grid on, I should expect to see a drawdown of $5,600. Uh, so that number there will give you an idea of where you want to place your stop. Do you want to stop out right when it hits that level? Do you want to give it a little more breathing room? As you can see here, I've got it set up to $5,000. And the reason I do that is because if I turn the grid on and it takes 2 or 3 profitable trades, that'll be almost $1,000 in the bank, and I've got my stop trailing. So at that point, my $5,000 trailing stop would kick in before the $5,600 uh, max has ever reached, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Um, so the range is what I have to basically the range I want to trade, and then make my formulation based on the range. So that will give me kind of uh, the risk I'm gonna take. Basically, I will set that up, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because like if we look at this chart, I mean, if you set up a grid, say every point 1 point apart, it's not going to take much of a move, and you're going to be up to 5, 10, 15 contracts pretty quick, which is going to be a huge loss. So you want to make sure your grid is wide enough that it can handle the range. Uh, but if you make it too wide, you won't see as much activity. And
Okay,
then, like I say, base your stop loss and everything based on the risk to max is probably my best suggestion.
okay. Thank you. That is important to know.
Yep, absolutely. Yes, the video I showed you from playback did both extended and regular trading hours. Yeah, yeah, that would definitely be worth looking into. Waiting for something tradable, huh? All right, I'll check that out. I would. It's difficult to say the risk is less. Probably because I spent 10 years in the brokerage industry. But it would make sense. The market seems to move less. Um, I would use tighter parameters in the overnight setting, which would put less at risk. So I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah, and it's very cool. Like what you see happening right here, the indicator made the prediction, and because it made a move and came back to the middle of the box, it shut off and took profits. Uh, but we're assuming it took profits there. But a lot of instances, when we go back, we can see the market continues chopping around in that same range. So if we wouldn't have shut off right here, we would have left Gridmaster running. We'd probably be making a killing right now. Um, yeah, that's exactly the longer you leave it running, the more risk of that big move knocking you out. And that's why I think we've seen the best success going for smaller profit targets, multiple times a day when the conditions are right, rather than turning it on and letting it run all day.
So for a target of 500 a day, it should be like 150, 120, couple of times, 3, 4 times over the day is better than to get the 500 than to get, 500 at once. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. Generally, I mean, go ahead, TJ. Yeah, yeah. The micros, I know the fees are a little high on them, but they can definitely be a good place, especially to learn. Um, it's for some reason it's always different when you're going from sim to live. Um, I don't know what it is there. It just seems different. And the micros are good to get started, get warmed up with, I guess.
So suggesting, let's say, taking three contracts of the micros at a time and play with that until we learn. Yeah. I burned my Evo Thursday. Well, the first one this is the very first one I blown, but it was with the with the minis. So you do? Okay. Well, I need to buy a couple of more counts because mine is blown. But it was not with the grid. It was me manually. It was not the grid. No. Exactly. I hear that it's easier to pass it with the grid than manually. That's why I want to learn better the grid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And and this is also probably a good point, a good time to uh, mention again the API. I don't talk about it a whole lot, so I don't even know if all of you know it's available. Uh, but this code here, this is the sample uh, RSI code that I put out in Discord somewhere. But it's just 4 lines of code here as changing gridmaster from long to short or short to long when the RSI goes overbought or oversold. Um, so if you have ideas, if you have an indicator that you think would do something really or would control the grid really well, it's very easy to link your indicator to the grid to it has full control. It can change parameters, turn it on and off, close the trades, you name it. Um,
Wow. Itself?
well, yes. So basically, this code will control the grid. So this is an indicator. If I put this indicator on the chart, then as the RSI goes overbought or oversold, it will change the grid from long to short for me. Uh,
Oh,
so we could also program it to uh, if you have a trailing stop, some kind of custom trailing stop that you wanted to implement on your grid, we could do that. Um, a
wow. Nice.
monitor for volatility to shut down the grid. That sky's the limit there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I well the latest version of 201 is doing a market order. Uh, I'm not sure what's there. Let me update it, and I'll send out a message to let you know. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice
Thank
to hear from you, TJ. Have a nice day.
Yep.
Perfect. Bye.
Bye. In this case, you see that vertical red line there? That's the bar where the indicator made the prediction. So what it does is starts drawing a box. At that point, when the bar closes, both the high and low are at the closing price, 52.65. But as the market moves down, the low of the box extends down with it. If the box grows above 1%, uh, then the box is closed out and painted red. We call it a loss. If the move in the box is less than 1%, it makes a move and then comes back to the middle of the box. It closes that out and calls it a win because typically at that point, we're going to be in the middle of our grid. Um, and typically in the middle of our grid, we have basically zero unrealized profit and loss, and hopefully some money in the bank. So we call that a profit when it makes a little move and then comes back to the center of the grid. And so looking back over the last 30 days at all of the predictions that the indicator's made, or all the boxes that it's drawn, 91.63% of them have been green boxes where it came back and closed out in the middle, hopefully at a profit for Gridmaster. The red boxes are the ones we call a loss. So about 8.5% of the predictions were losses. Does
So
that make sense?
you will turn on the grid master once you get that red.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good idea.
How will you trade? For example, I have a question. How will you trade a PA account when you cannot trade both sizes?
Uh,
They don't allow you to trade both sizes.
who is your PA account with?
Apex.
Apex. So I think Bulenox will allow you to. Um, I know Stefan's traded with Apex. I'm not sure uh, exactly. It's a little different because all the prop firms have different rules, and
Right.
I'm not familiar with all of them. But I know if we ask around in the group when Stefan's around, he'll answer if he sees it.
Right. Unless that indicator can also predict longs and shorts. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean we could try it. We can test it out and see. This is like I say, I've from my observations, it tends to make most money trading both sides, and so that's what I was focusing on with this indicator. But I'll definitely be looking for more indicators, or more tools, I should say, to help when to turn it long, short, uh, pick settings, whatever we can do.
All right.
Look, just one thing. I have I guess, a strategy that's quite good in a trend. it takes little scalps. Is
Mhm.
it possible to, I guess, implement that when it does turn to long or short? If is that something we can send to you and potentially input, or
Yeah,
would it need to be? Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
I have noticed because I
I'm
have
happy to share that with everyone. It's a very good strategy for getting in and out of the market, particularly when it gets explosive like this. Yeah,
Well,
I have noticed when you are on a trend.
looking forward to
Uh,
seeing this in
I
action.
don't know. I
And
can hear him.
ES is one. There's probably a few more that'll do very well on. So yeah, well done. Thank you.
Sorry, I was talking and he was talking and I couldn't hear him at all. That's why I was talking. I apologize for that.
oh, you're fine.
Uh, um, I have noticed when I turn on the grid in a trend market, I just have to have a really wide uh, shut off or stop loss because it pick up really good in the trend market. I have done quite a few good trades, and when I get stopped out is when I have really um, tight stops.
Mhm.
But I don't. I think with the trend, it's kind of easy to check it out. We just have to take more risk. That's it, I guess.
Uh, yeah, it's difficult. I really have focused most of my testing, like I said, on trading both sides. I've obviously done some testing with the long and short. Um, it's I think it's just a little more difficult. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I'm off. Good luck
Okay,
today.
thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And any other questions out there?
So this indicator will be included. How do we add it?
Yeah, I'll send it out when it's ready, as soon as it's ready.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, I think what I'll do, I'll leave this running. So if you guys want to, you can check back in, watch it throughout the day. I don't know if I'll be able to leave it open all day, but yeah, at least for the next couple hours, uh, we'll see how it does. And like I said, I'll as soon as I have this indicator ready, will definitely send it out to you guys. I'm excited to get it to you.
Thank you so much. I clarify a lot of things already with it. So I appreciate that.
Awesome. I'm happy to hear that.
Thanks, Tyler. Thanks for keeping making this all this progress. We as a group definitely appreciate it. So thank you.
Yep. Do-
Tyler.
yep.
Have a nice
I do
day,
the best.
all.
Go ahead.
Have a nice day, all. I'm going to jump out too.
All right. You guys take care.